last session. Sorry. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hello, sir. Did you start it or not, sir?
Yeah, 1 second, 1 second. That's 1 second.
Okay, fine.
So vacancies founded base. That's a habit. 1 second. Right. Yeah, thank you very much. So yesterday will be discussion about this is a completely Linux as well as AWS and with the shell scripting. So what is the content for the Linux administration? Yesterday a discussion about. Red Hat certified system administration. Red Hat certified system administration. Model 1 is model 2. So model 1 already you know these are basics Linux, mean like nothing but Linux, essential Linux. Model 2 mean completely Linux administration. So we'll be discussion about a few things. So those are things. Next mean Red Hat certified engineer. This is called mean advanced Linux. Is completely server installation, server configuration, all services updations. So all things that can happen to RCE mean advanced Linux. So module 3. Module 3. So this is about me Linux administration. Next, coming to point. Today we want to discussion about AWS. So AWS means Amazon Web Services, Internet Service Provider. So AWS mean what? Amazon Web Service mean it will provide only services. So what is the need? So what is the recommended the customer So that particular resources, it will be provided to service provider. So it will be happen to that. So generally, what are the services? Services mean as a servers and applications. So generally, your current project, whatever. So what you need, for example, you are to go to build one new project. So what do you want required? The systems is required. What the system? Service is required, as well as server OS is required. All right. Next mean what? Not only one server, you need to more than servers. More than servers mean the huge servers. So how can build it on that? So those are things mean these kind of services it will provide to AWS. So the AWS mean what? Amazon Web Services. Only services it will be provided. So what type of services, what kind of services it will be provided to? Let you know that now. In AWS, what kind of certification will be provided in this course? One certification is AWS Cloud Practitioner. One is the Cloud Practitioner. So this is the awareness of what is a Cloud Practitioner. This is a completely fundamental to get the awareness of industry knowledge. So what is the industry knowledge? So a few minutes we will discuss about. So next certification is AWS Solutions Architecture. So this is the certification, or you become a solution architecture, you need to 2+ of experience. So 2+ of experience, that kind of stuff it will be provided in this course, completely real-time oriented. Okay, good. Everything is fine. So let you know that what type of services it will provide in this course. Generally AWS, what is the cloud? So what is the cloud? So type of the cloud, before a discussion about it, cloud mean it will be provide the services via internet. Then you can access via remotely. So wherever. So availability of resources, then you can easily access via internet remotely. This happen to services. So type of clouds. Have a different type of clouds, guys. Right. So hybrid cloud. So this kind of things have a different type of clouds. Next what is the future of technologies? So how many type of servers is available? What are the technologies? What are the firewalls? What are the switches? Is it right? So physical oriented servers will be different. Virtual oriented servers will be differentiations. So I'll give a small definition. What will happen to physical servers and virtual servers? Small diagram can easily understood you. So you have to go to build these physical servers, guys. So in reality, the physical servers, this is a storage management. This is all operating system with applications. This is the user. User can access application and with the database. Where to store the databases? This is the storage management. So user can access application and where can access the database in storages. This is a real-time habit. But how to build in real time your own data centers? Look like this. These are all rack servers. These call rack servers. You can rack server you can easily push and pull it. You can easily push and pull it. So you can easily manage your hardware, whatever you want. So we have the many physical activity here, right? So I have cables and switches and firewalls. I have many type of cables here. Many LAN cables will build it, and fiber cable will build it. A lot of things. But unfortunately, anywhere have a that mean something will happen sometime. So electrical problem and some weather issues. Unfortunately, where is something happen? We lose contact over NSE or power plug, whatever. So very difficult you can find it. So not only one server site here. So this kind of setup. So how many physical servers available here? As a more than 100. So more than 100, each physical server, how many virtual services there? Minimum 10. Each server, minimum 10. So this much of industry, this much of resources, this much of architecture. So how to find? So very difficult to find progress. Physically very difficult to find. So very headache for. So right now daily I'm facing, myself also will facing these kind of issues. So sometimes the entire core goes down. Sometimes switches lose contact, right? So some project guys, 200 people is simply sitting. So you have to verify through all things. Someone says, sir, monitoring tools is there. Yes, monitoring is available. You find it. But physical activity very difficult to maintain. Yeah, sure. All right. So this is the switches, guys. So each switches have a 48 ports and 24 ports. So each project have a lot of infrastructure you can build it. So data centers mean yesterday will be discussion about this type of blade services available. This is the blade service available, and this is the infrastructures for the cloud or anywhere. Anywhere. These kind of things. This is the cloud infrastructure. I have a different type of infrastructure build, I mean, data layers and infrastructures layers and premier layers. This is called security, guys. This happened to security. This happened to what? Security. So, so this is a one type of the physical resources available. I mean, firewall, I have a different type of firewalls. So IPS, IDS. So every different type of layer of security. So IDS, IPS mean these are hardware firewalls. Hardware firewalls mean in real time, Cisco mean ASA, Adaptive Security Appliance. So I have a software file for fixed firewalls and cyber ROM, blue code. I have a lot of things. So this is all things you have to get managed. So how to can manage not a physical activity completely remotely only virtually access this everything. So IPS IDS very important in real time. So intrusion prevention system, IPS IDS means intrusion detection system. So firewall have a two different type of firewall. Before discussion about hardware and software firewalls. So hardware mean can helpful you IDS and IPS. IDS and IPS only happen to hardware. Like ASA firewall, Cisco ASA, Adaptive Security Appliance. And fixed firewalls mean the software firewalls. Software firewalls mean applications. Applications. So cyber room, SOE, blue code, right? So I have a different type of companies. Next coming to point. So what is the major difference between? So in Amazon Web Services have a different type of services. Just you have to know what are the services can happen here. So first services mean the infrastructure. So infrastructure. Generally, what is the infrastructure? Infrastructure means you have to go to assets. Then you want to go to assets. Have a different type of infrastructure. One is the AS, one is the PaaS, one is the SaaS. What is the AS, PaaS, SaaS? So in cloud services, it will be provided completely infrastructure from this. This is completely infrastructure from this. So what is the infrastructure from this here? So you have to provide those are things. On premises. On premises mean just whatever services if you want require. For example, will be provided mean AWS. AWS mean Amazon Web Services. It will be provided these all kind of services. So which services if you want required? So we will be providing networking. Networking means what? As for example, have a routers, have a switches, right? Have a firewalls, have a firewalls. So this is all things. Our internet will be provided all things. All internet networking infrastructure will be provided. So as a storage, for example, before you can discussion about have a service. This have a so server have a OS, server have a applications, right? So as well as server have a OS, server have a application. So where can store the database, where can store the data, have a storage management. This is the storage management. I have a lot of hard disk. The SAN device, storage area network. So we'll be provide the storage. Scalability. Scalability. What is scalability? For example, this is 10 TB. Example, this is the 10 TB. 10 TB will be not sufficient of space right now. So physically happen mean you can't do anything. So this is completely the virtualization. So for example, 10 TB will be not sufficient. Immediately you can buy to one more 5 TB. So you can easily increase the size. So this is called me we will provide the storages. Next means service. So whatever services you want required. So we are to use the Windows servers, we are using the Unix servers, we are using for Linux servers, any kind of vendors with security, with license, it will be provided. This call me service. Virtualization. Generally, what is the virtualization? Virtualization mean will be provide all physical servers. So each physical have a lot of mean as a minimum 10 operating system. This is one physical server, right? Have a 10 operating system. So we will provide all kind of virtualization, virtual servers. So physical servers mean what? If you want to require 10 physical servers, you have to go to build an infrastructure. 10 servers is in need. So 10 servers mean the huge infrastructure is cost effective. That will be happen to that, right? So in AWS services, what type of service it will be provide the virtualization. Virtualization mean the completely you can access via internet only. Next mean. So operating systems. So what is the operating systems? So before you can discussion about any kind of Windows or Linux or Unix. So servers mean the hardware it will be provided. So middleware applications. So every virtualization you need to middleware application. So we will provide the runtime. So runtime mean what? Reliability. Reliability mean 100% without downtime or 99.9999999. This is happened to in AWS. 99.95. Only 1% it will happen. So 100% will be provided reliability. This means runtime. So next mean data. So will be provide the securely your databases. So generally physical server, what will happen, guys? So for example, this is a physical server, right? So this is the SAN device, they mean storage devices. For example, all database you can store here. So unfortunately, we can break down from my SAN devices. So there is no any secure for your database. So we have the right configuration. So unfortunately, entire device is collapse. So maybe unfortunately, I mean he will come to nature effect. I mean headache. So entire will be collapsed. So where can get the databases? Very difficult to in real time, right? So data mean what? Have a different type of regions. Have a mean Asian region, Pacific region, have a different type of regions. Regions mean so Asia Pacific, Asia, Arctica, have a different type of locations. For example, Asia mean have a Mumbai, Indian Mumbai. So India, Mumbai, not only India, Mumbai only. Have a Hyderabad one data centers, Bangalore have a one data centers, or Cochin have a one data center. Total India is a breakdown. Mean like nothing but is a headache will comes. Mean natural effect. So have Asian Pacific, have a different type of countries, different type of zone. Not only one zone you can store the database. We can have a different type of zones can store the database. So India can get affect anything, have a different reason also, different reason, different zones are available your database securely. So what type of application you want required? What type of application you want required? So I will be provide the all application with securely. So on-premise means just you can use and pay. Use and pay, that's it. Use and pay. How many hours? Not a hours. Within a minutes. Minutes. So I will use the only 1 minute. You pay the only 1 minute. So this is on-premises. So in infrastructure, these all kind of services available. But which services you want required? Infrastructure of services or platform as services, as software as services. So who will be provide networking? I will be provide storage. I will mean what? I'm a services, AWS services. I'm AWS services. I will be provide the networking. I will put the storage. I will provide the physical service. I will put the virtualization. So you have to do this. This is called mean infrastructure as a services. So this on premises. Is clear, friends? Anyone have any question here? Great. Next, we have a platform as services. So AWS, I will be provide networking. I will provide the storage. I will provide the physical service. I will provide the virtualization. I will be provide a operating system which you want. I will provide mid application. I will provide without interrupt your service. So you have to do from this only. You can manage data. You can manage applications. So if you're not interested from this, you can choose from this. I will provide all things. I will provide these all things just on premises. Just can pay and use without interrupt your services. It is called reliability. So how many services you want required? How much service resources you want? Resource mean these are all available top resources. So this called means scalability. So this different type of infrastructure is available in AWS. This kind of infrastructure is available in AWS. Next, mean what type of services it will be provided. So this is the one infrastructure, friends. Next, mean shall I have this? Yes. So we'll provide the PaaS. Right. This will mean infrastructure. Next will be happen mean EC2 instance. What is the EC2 instance? EC2 instance. One more service is EC2. EC2 mean elastic compute cloud. Compute cloud. So generally, what is the EC2 instance? So what is the feature of the EC2 instance? So what is the pricing of EC2 instance? EC2 instance mean the virtual server, the virtual server, virtual service. So elastic compute cloud. So how many servers, how many virtual services if you want required? How many virtual servers if you want required? So we can easily within a seconds, within a minutes, not only second, you can take the minutes of time within a minutes, not more than hours, right? Within a minutes, you won't require 10,000 servers at the same time. Yes, will be provided. So what type of EC2 instance, what type of servers you want required? So have a different type of EC2 instance, guys. I'll let you know the mean in real time. I will help you very clearly. So next mean what are the features? So what are the feature of EC2 instance? What are the managing the infrastructure of EC2 instance? So how to create your EC2 instance? Where you can create the EC2 instance? It will be happens everything. So 1 second. Okay. Yeah, fine, guys. Yeah, right. So next mean, guys, is a particular EC2 instance. So what is the type? Every different of EC2 instance mean is a virtual service, right? So what is the price? So what different of a price mean? So for example, have a Windows, have a Linux servers, have a Linux server, have a different type of flavors, have a Unix servers. So what is the price from this? What the cost about per hour for minutes from this mean? These are all things pricing is to instance. So this is the one services, guys. Next mean, as well as one more thing is you are required, one more services mean EBS. EBS mean Amazon Elastic block store. Means store means storage. Elastic block storage mean will be provide the balance. Will provide the balance. Values mean how much storage you want required, how much space you want required. So what type of volumes is available? How can manage your EVS volumes? So how to increase this volume size? So before you can discuss yesterday I discussed about LVM concept, right? So this same concept can happen from EBS. So EBS mean completely storage, guys. This mean volume storage. Volumes mean the size of storage you want required. So, for example, these volume, how to create the volumes, how can store the volumes, how to managing these volumes. All right. So how to easily increase, you can reduce the sizes and enter the database, mean enter the data, enter the volume, how to take the snapshots. So this is all kind of services it available, the EBS. This one more service is very important, friends. This called mean ELB services. ELB mean what? Elastic load balancing. So load balancing. Load balance. So what is the I need to load balancing here? For example, I'm using the servers, friends, here. I'm using from two servers. So two servers have a same one application already is going on ready to load balance. Load balancing mean, so these server it can happen to only 10,000 people can access at the per second. Per second, 10,000 people we can able to access this, only one service. So I have one more server at the 10,000 people you can access per second. You can able to access. sometime your business or your applications, sometime you'll get the busy. Busy mean per second 20,000 people can access. So what will happen your servers? Sometime your application didn't respond because of this is the server infrastructure and the architecture will be not supported to you. So that will be happen. Load balancing. The elastic load balancing mean we can easily share. You can share data or request or your load, whatever. So easily share to load from to another system. This call mean scalability along with load balancing. So you can easily share the data to, you can easily share to request or load to other systems. This is called mean the very important load balancing. So what will happen? 20K mean you can share to another system. Mean 20K mean you can share to another system. So you can easily, we can access any application without interrupting. Is it right? So it will be happen to load balancing. Friends, any question here?
No.
Good. So I have one more services in AWS, guys. Auto scaling. So generally, what is the auto scaling? Auto scaling mean, so like one type of scalability, guys. So what is the auto scaling type of auto scaling, right? How to create the launch is, I mean, your configuration auto scaling, advantage auto scaling. So you want to discussion about in practical oriented, we can understand, guys. So one more thing is important, one more service is networking and service security. Networking and security. So what is the networking and security? I have a different type of securities, guys. Before we can discussion about the firewalls, I have a different type of layer of firewalls. So IPS, IDS, this is only hardware firewall. You only can prevent your threats. You can prevent your unknown network. Prevents mean we can block it. So unnecessary mean is a different networks. You can hit your servers or you can hit your network. Well, we immediately can prevent to that. So only IPS IDS can help. So one type of the vulnerability, one type of this mean hacking like that. So this is one type of security. As a one more security mean some applications, application oriented is mean have some vulnerabilities, mean loopholes, loop blanks. So sometime use programming, sometime your so whatever the all kind of software issues or software happen, software drawbacks. So how to find them? So this much of security it available AWS. So this mean elastic IPs, replacement groups, key pairs, network interfaces, and there are a lot of things. These are all things how can manage is a networking and security. Networking and security. So this is a service can help you guys. Next. More very important mean whenever created EC2 instance, whenever they create the EC2 instance, this is a mean AMI. AMI mean Amazon machine image. So machine image mean what? So these are all operating systems, guys. These are all operating system, each image services. So which services, which images, so which servers, which vendors you want to acquire, then you have to go to create it. All right. So this is all EC2 instance where you can create it. Where you can create it mean what? So right now I'm built from India. We have the mean lot of project. We have mean 400 project right now. I'm dealing from our company. So each project have a minimum 2,000 people is working on this. All right. So we have the minimum. So we have the mean 15,000 servers 15,000 servers. Only not entire guys, only few projects only we are having 15,000 servers. It's not a joke, right? 15,000 servers, how can handle you? So how can I handle mean? We have the lot of team. We have the infrastructure. We have the team. So we have the using for the all latest applications. So DevOps, I'm using for DevOps tools. I'm using for AWS. So I can manage 15,000 servers very easily without any head weight. How can manage 15? Only one system can manage very difficult. From your desktop, we can make it for very difficult. Sometimes it will be having some bugs, some errors, or some hardware issues. Very difficult, right? So how can manage 15,000 servers? Which area can I able to create it? So what is that's called mean? Regions and availability. Regions and availability. So what are the regions? Regions mean your area. So in area, which zone is available to zones? So we have this is my India. I mean India, Asian zone. So this India mean what? One region. In region, I have availability zone. Has a Bangalore one availability zone, Mumbai has availability zone, Hyderabad have availability zone, and Cochin have availability zone. So in your region, where you can create your EC2 instance, where you can create your virtual servers, Hyderabad. I'll create the Hyderabad. All right. So how it will be create your virtual servers and which zone, which region, so which availability. So it will be happen these guys. Okay, fine. Next, we'll coming to point. Next. So one more thing is important, friends, here. One more thing is important. We need to have a different type of networks, as a private network, as a public network. So what is the public? What is the private? So private mean our own premises. So our area, I can control my area. This public mean everyone, anyone can access. So how can manage this a private and public? This call mean the virtual private cloud. Virtual private cloud. This call mean VPC. This is one of the service for the AWS. Generally, what is the VPC? So VPC mean we build before you can discussion about right 15,000 servers. So 15,000 servers, I want to go to build my own area. My own area mean what? My local area. So this is the local area. Local area mean you can easily can access. But local area to how can access to public? Example, friends. This is your company, right? This is your company. This is your project. Your project have 100 physical servers or physical whatever physical servers or physical systems, your desktop or servers, whatever. So now is you working in work from home. Work from home. So how can I access your servers? Your company servers from your home. How can I access? So having different type of proxy service is called proxy. So have a different of security levels is available. How can access your private to public mean? These all mean private servers. You can access easily public. So this is called virtual private cloud. Virtual private. So in this virtual private cloud, so how to create private cloud? What is the security groups? So how to create, how to build DHCP? DHCP mean what? Dynamic host configuration protocol. So DHCP mean dynamic host configuration protocol. All 15,000 servers, we can easily automatically we can assign to IP address without yourself, without your help. Automatically can assign to IP address. Have a different type of process in DORA process and APIPA, automatically private IP addresses. So this is discover offer request acknowledgement. This is a DORA process. You can how can build a DORA process, how to do the DORA process, how can implement it the DSCP services. It will happen to VPC services. So as well as ACL, access control list. So how it will be provide the particular project, particular servers, particular applications, all right. So it will be happening. ACL services also available. So one more thing in VPC, have a one more service mean domain name system. So domain names, how can access the domain? How can build your domain name services? This goes are things happen. So all things private to public, how can I access this mean network access, network NAT. So NATing, you have to get the NATing. We mean private to public service has to get to NAT, network address translation. So network address translation mean what? I mean private to public, public to private. We can manage. Okay, so it will happen this guy. This is one of the services. So how can manage the DNS? DNS mean domain name system. The one more service name is Route 53. Route 53. Generally, what is the 53? So in DNS port number is a 53. So Route 53 mean, we can provide to only AWS services. So 53 mean DNS, route mean we can access. Routing and routed have two different of things, guys. So routing is different, routed will be different. So we clearly can explain from in this practical word that we can easily to understand you, right? So how to create the DNS services, all right? How to using the workflow, how to check the health checking. So how to check your your credentials. Credentials nothing but this is a completely DNS records, guys. So what are the max records? What are the text records? Email records? All right. Your server records, the IP addressings. This is all things. DNS mean IP to name, name to IP address will be conversion. IP to name, name to IP, it will be conversion. So this is the DNS services. So what is the latency? How can I easily can access? How much time I can quickly can access? So this is all mean. So one more thing is the hosting using for websites also. DNS mean domain name, right? So how we build your own websites? So it will be happen, this guys. So what are the policies? So all things you want to services. Right? So I'll drop this guys. I will drop it. So have one more service is AWS. So have one more services AWS. So Amazon CloudWatch. Amazon Cloud Watch. So what is the CloudWatch? So then you want to go to list of servers monitored by the CloudWatch. So list of servers, where the application servers, testing server, database servers. We have a lot of things. So particular service is goes down, particular servers very going on slower, particular servers didn't respond, particular service. So has something happened. So we have 15,000 servers or 15 servers, whatever. Unknown counted, guys. You can take one server also, is not an issue. One to many servers, how can manage you? Is mean how to manage you mean. So one of the best services mean the Amazon CloudWatch. Have a different type of DevOps tools, have a monitoring tools. So one of the best services in AWS, Amazon CloudWatch. Okay, easily monitoring is a particular applications, particular services, particular physically or virtually or whatever, anything. So you want to CloudWatch mean is a monitoring is a particular services, particular application. So one of the best mean Nagios. Nagios one of the best tool for and DevOps. Nagios. So Nagios have a different type of Nagios, application-wise, hardware level wise. We'll come to upcoming classes, we'll be discussing about very clearly, guys. So this much of services it will be provided in this course, right, guys? So what type of service it will provide? So in real time, in your future, you become a Linux administrator. So once you done from in this course, you become a Linux administrator, you become a Linux expert. You become a Linux expert. So this is the one job role is available. So along with AWS, AWS mean what? How to create a Linux instance, how to create EC2, Elastic Computer Cloud, Compute Cloud, EC2. How EC2 mean what? Your virtual instance, how to create the Linux servers. So once you from Linux administration, we can easily manage from EC2 instance. I mean, you can easily maintenance, you can easily maintain, you can easily access, you can easily control. So all Linux servers in a feature in AWS. Why? Because already you know administration, already know how to install the application, how to update the application, how can manage the application, how to install the application, how to uninstall the application. Everybody already you know Linux administration very perfectly. So once you done from Linux administration, you can easily manage whatever the services in AWS services. Is it right? Yes, you can easily, guys. So this is happened to Linux and AWS. You become a Linux administrator or Linux engineer. Two jobs roles available. Each Linux administration 0 to 2 years experience is required. So what is the minimum salary from per month mean? 25K. 25K as a fresher. For example, you have the 2 years. So now can get mean up to 45K guys per month. Only I'll tell you AWS, only Linux oriented only. For example, you have Linux with AWS. You have the more than skills, more than knowledge. So basics, any technology has a minimum first joining mean 25K only. For example, per month, 2.53 lakhs per annum only. The freshers only. So you have 2 years experience along Linux along with the AWS. So we have the minimum 5 lakhs per annum, guys. 5 lakhs per annum per year. So approximately you can get the 60 above. So for 50 above. Okay. So this is happening, guys. It's very future. It's a huge demand in market right nowadays, and Linux administration along with the AWS. So some companies, some projects, not only AWS, sometimes can asking the Azure also. So how can learn from Azure? So any cloud technology, once how to learn, we can easily manage different type of cloud service also. Concept will be same. So technology will be different. Concept will be same EC2 instance, concept will be same. You want to go to get the virtual service, is it right? You want to get the load balancing. So you want to go to security, you want to go to create a local network. So this concept will be same, but creativity mean technology will be different, guys. What are the different technology? AWS service is different. Azure will be different. Concept will be same. Or Google Cloud also will be same. But creativity mean create virtual creations and some technology will be different. So once you do from AWS, remain all cloud services, we can easily manage you. We can easily learn on you. So it will happen, these guys. Okay, friends, any question? Anyone any doubts and question concern here?
No, sir.
It's fine. Yes, Vivek, Suresh, any question, friends? So in this course completely, we'll be provided 3+ of experience, guys. So 3 years, how did work? So what type of troubleshoot you can face on? What type of application issues? What are the hardware issues? What are the content issues? Just all kind of it will be provide 3+ of experience in this course with a completely real-time oriented. All right. So this is the today's session, guys. Come to tomorrow, it'll be discussion about AWS along with one more thing is here. You want to let you know that there's a shell scripting. So generally, what is the shell scripting? For example, I want to go to create one EC2 instance, one virtual servers, guys. In virtual servers, it will be create only Linux server only Linux OS only. But I need to application also. I want application web servers, I want application databases, I want to install some according to your project. What do you need applications? Application mean softwares. So I have a server, friends, have a server. For example, this is a server. So I have already Linux server. Linux server mean EC2 instance. You can already create it. Fine. Right? In your project, what type? In your project, what are the applications need? For example, you are using the laptop, right? So what are the application you need? You need to MS Office, you need to browser, you need to some whatever your requirement applications. So you have to build it your own personal setup. But this is the business, this is a project. You need to more than application. You need to more than application. You need to standalone application, you need to web applications, whatever. Application, marketing application, or purchase and sale, whatever. So all kind of you can do the manually. No. Just so I want to go to write the small cell scripting. EC2 instance along with all application you can install the one single time at the same time it will be built it. Just all servers can build it, they get ready to use your particular services application. This is cell scripting can help you. So how to write the cell scripting, how can build the cell scripting, how can access the cell scripting, how to modify the cell scripting, how to provide the schedule of the times, so this quanta schedule, right? How it will be provided in AWS, everything will be discussion about the practical oriented, guys. Okay. So this is the today's sessions, guys. We'll come to next session. Will be discussion about more than information. So how to create, how to download your Linux servers, how to download virtual servers, virtual applications, how to create, in the AWS free account. Will be discussion about tomorrow onward. Some practical oriented. So as today, I'll discussion about what is the content, what is the AWS, what is the Linux, how can going in your project, real-time project. So how to build your own centers. This will be discussion about only few things, few introduction about Linux along with AWS. So tomorrow will be discussion about some practical, real-time practical oriented like that, how to download Linux servers, how to download your virtual servers, how to install your virtual servers, how to install your virtual machines, right? And the AWS service mean how to create your own free account. Let me discuss about tomorrow. Friends, anyone have any question right now? I have declared everyone. So please let you know, guys. You give a comments. So a particular session is not understood. Please explain to that. So you can ask any question and doubts. Is clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Yeah, Kira. Maybe tomorrow onward, Kira. We start to session to real-time oriented tomorrow onward. So tomorrow I'll give the awareness how to manage, how to download your OS, right? How to download virtual servers. So how to installation process is going on tomorrow onward. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Okay, friends, I want to go to stop now to continue tomorrow as well as same time, same link, guys. Thank you for the day. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Take care.